Tonight we're going to speak about Lucille Richman, and Lucille, as she was known to all of us. Most of the time in life, we don't see the greater picture. Only Hashem does. But there is a greater picture. When our family moved to 78th Drive, shortly after that, there were a bunch of attacks that had been going on in Kew Garden Hills. It turns out they were Mutt and Jeff, two people who were attacking all people in the neighborhood, big, small, young, old. And just at that particular time, we heard about a break-in at the Richman house down the block on 78th Drive. I didn't know who they were. I didn't really care who they were. These were two older people, older certainly compared to me. I was in my 20s, they were in their early 60s. And there had been, as I say, the break-in. He had been attacked. And Zaidi got involved somehow with a whole bunch of people in the neighborhood. And they were patrolling around the area. And he would go there after a while. Practically every night he would stop in there to see how they were, to the point where it was starting to get me annoyed, because every night he disappeared for half an hour. One day, Lucille says, you know, I would like to meet this wife of yours who is constantly going to be angry at you. Maybe we can meet her. I wasn't really interested, because I said, what could I possibly have in common with these people? But I said, fine, okay, friendly me, I'll go over and I'll say hello to them. Went over to them, and an amazing thing happened. There was an immediate connection. We got together because of an almost catastrophic situation in their lives, and it turns out that we met our best friends. Not only was Aunt Lucille my best friend, but she became a second grandmother to the children. I used to go traveling on the block daily with little Batsheva. Then it became little David, who became Uncle Phil's best friend. And Lucille and I were wonderful together. One day, again, catastrophe meets mazel. Uncle Phil lost his job. It was just the day before Chaskel's bar mitzvah. They didn't tell me at the bar mitzvah, but they told me a day later. And Aunt Lucille said, I want to start to light candles. And from that Shabbos on, she never missed a Shabbos. These were not from people. They were completely tinok shenishba. They knew nothing. But they were interested. They became interested. Aunt Lucille wanted to know everything about Yiddishkeit. Number one, because it affected my kids. And number two, she found it fascinating. She learned what kashrus meant. She always had snacks in the house specifically for the kids, and she would admonish them if they were going to eat something and they were milachik and it was parv, or parv and it was milachik or fleischik or whatever. She was watching them. After he lost his job, I did an enormous chesed. I was a real tzaddikus. I offered Aunt Lucille a job. She was going to run my front desk. She's going to be the secretary. Now, I didn't know she knew anything. And I thought I was doing her a chesed, but guess what? It wasn't my chesed to be doing. She ended up doing more for me in the business than I ever could do for her. She helped us. Our business, Baruch Hashem, thrived. She was at the forefront, and she ran the business for many, many years. She was there every day, and I knew that I could trust everything, including money, in her very capable hands. She was the most trustworthy, honest person I ever met, except possibly Uncle Phil. They were family way beyond just friends in the neighborhood. When Uncle Phil passed away, Aunt Lucille came to us more and more and more. And I will tell you once again, she was a person who was not from. She was not brought up from. She knew very little. And as time went on, she knew more and more. And the day that she told me she cannot go with her friends on Pesach during her vacation to play cards with them like she usually did, because they would be eating Pesach pizza, and she couldn't eat pizza on Pesach, I cried. She became a Shomer Shabbos, and all the mitzvahs that she did subsequent to that, we all get a shtickle. How do I know if not in that schus? We've been having so much wonderful nachas from our children. She should continue to be a Melitz Yosher for all of us. We loved her, and she loved us right back.